Hello, I'm Jackson Culpepper. I wrote O'Malley, a short story for the Phoenix. It's coming out in November, and I wrote a poem called Communion, Mississippi 7. Some of my influences, at least lately, are Fred Chappell, who is a very good Appalachian writer. His book, I'm One of You Forever, was a really good one for me because it was very minimalist. It was a very short book, and it was a very, very accessible book. It was one that had sort of these voices of the mountains, but it was filled with humor, and it got across some very, very interesting stories through a little bit of magical realism, but always in a way that you could relate to. And that's one of my, I think, main points of my style. And it's not something I really thought about, it's just a way that I present things, is that, you know, you want somebody to be able to pick it up at a bar and read it. And that's kind of my goal. And O'Malley was a little bit different because it was so much of a sort of, I don't want to say postmodern, but something like that, where you've got a main character who writes in stream of consciousness, first person, who gets on digressions every 5 minutes about things. And from that, I took a lot of that from probably Hunter S. Thompson and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and things like that. Right now I'm reading House of Leaves, and it's very similar, but that wasn't one of the ones I kind of looked at for that. But that, as far as just human condition, you know, so much of short fiction especially seems to be about character. Short stories, if it's not about character, it's very hard to get a good short story out of it. And for that, you know, you need to know kind of the depths of human condition. You need to know how far people can go down, and you also need to know how far they can come up. But I think people tend to relate a little bit better to the going down, and then the further down you go, the better the come up is. And I guess one of the most important things about style and what I try to do is that as you go down into the condition, there has to be that hope and that joy. There's a lot of things, including some other things by Cormac, it seems like Blood Meridian, where there isn't much hope, there isn't much joy, and I think it's essential that no matter how dark the work is, there has to be hope and there has to be joy, and that's something I try to get across, and it's something I feel is very important. So,
thank you.
Well, when I first started to write, I was in high school, and I'm very glad that none of those things survive, and they're all on a computer that's kind of dismantled at my house. But yeah, it all started. I was big into fantasy. I was big into Tolkien, big into all these other, you know, British kind of fantasy books that I found in my library when I was in middle school and high school, and I would tend to write like that. So a lot of them are the first chapters of books that I never would have finished, emulating that. And through fiction writing classes at UT, and through kind of reading a little bit more literary things and more short stories, I gradually learned how to, you know, make that into more of a thing that wasn't just for me, wasn't just me kind of having fun with it, but it was me presenting a message to other people.